Klaus Schwab resigned because he was caught stealing money. So was his wife. And you might be asking yourself, well, what kind of authority does the WEF hold in order to launch these investigations?
I guess Klaus Schwab will be eating Z-bugs alone. Oh, what a glorious day it is today. Klaus Schwab resigns with immediate effect, okay?
So recently, Klaus Schwab announced that he's going to be stepping down from the World Economic Forum January of 2025, and there's a leading candidate that may replace him, whose books have sold 45 million copies in 65 different languages. His name is Yuval Harari. He's been called the brain of Klaus Schwab. His books have been recommended by Bill Gates, Obama, and...
Yes, Klaus Schwab resigns, the Pope dies, and then this from Trump. The world will not be destroyed by those who do evil, but rather by those who watch them without doing anything to stop them. So true. When I look at all these people, for the past years we have seen what Klaus Schwab stands for, what he advocates. When I go through videos on social media, especially these TikTok, you will see how people are jubilating. It is like, I don't understand. Some says this is a confirmation of a prophecy. Pope dies the same day this guy resigned. There must be something. I don't know. It is important. I show you some videos. If you've not subscribed to this channel, please endeavor to do that. It will do you no harm. If you share the video out.
Klaus Schwab resigned because he was caught stealing money. So was his wife. And you might be asking yourself, well, what kind of authority does the WEF hold in order to launch these investigations? And that is a great question. It's going to be an internal investigation. But he already quit. So, I mean, I guess if they think that he's been stealing money, or they do, like a whistleblower came out, if they do, then I suppose they could file charges. A whistleblower came out and reportedly accused him of manipulating research, using company funds to pay for private massages, and asking junior staffs to withdraw thousands of dollars on his behalf. This happened the day after he resigned. The accusations went on to accuse Schwab and his wife Hildy, of financial and ethical misconduct, which of course he denies. I didn't know that Al Gore, the former VP of the United States, was a prominent member in the WEF. I knew he was like a member because they're all members, but I didn't know he was like a member to do investigation. Apparently they had a big meeting where Klaus Schwab argued before the board before he resigned. The letter also accused Schwab of manipulating the WEF Global Competitiveness report in order to curry favor with certain governments. You think? Also include an allegation that Schwab used WEF funds to pay for private in-room massages at hotels and asked staff to promote him for Nobel Peace Prizes and instructed junior employees to withdraw thousands from an ATM. His wife, who was also accused, suggested that one scheduled token meeting using WEF money to justify luxury travel at the WEF's expense. She apparently maintained tight control over the use of Villa Mundi, a grand property bought by the WEF overlooking Lake Geneva. Portions of that building were reserved for families' private access, so she just commandeered their meeting house. Who knows if anything's going to actually come out of these investigations, but it might. Schwab was a bad dude, like a weird dude, like he was the eat bugs guy. Good riddance to bad rubbish. In fact, the entire WEF organization as a whole really should be dismantled. I don't understand how one organization that isn't like a government that was duly elected has so much control over what the countries of the world do. I feel like if we started there, like everything else would probably fall quickly.
This is a big surprise because not only is he the leader, he is the founder and has had this position for about 50 years. In his statement to the board at the forum, he says, following my recent announcement and as I enter my 88th year, I have decided to step down from the position of chair and as member of the board of trustees with immediate effect. So if you want to know more information about Klaus Schwab, this man, he literally wrote the book that came out in 2020 called The Great Reset, also wrote about the Fourth Industrial Revolution and a brief history on the WEF, which is not popular among the general public and has sparked a lot of conspiracies about what their plans are for global domination. So Klaus Schwab is an economist and an engineer and founder of the World Economic Forum. He established the WEF in 1971 as a platform for business leaders to collaborate with government and societal stakeholders. The WEF is known for its annual meeting in Davos, Switzerland, which attracts global leaders from business, governance, and civil society.
At the same time, we are witnessing rapid technological advances with many opportunities and with artificial intelligence rapidly transforming our production and our lives.
Yes, something is actually happening. I went through social media to actually observe what people are thinking.
There is very serious prophecy fulfilling. Pope Francis has died during Passover and the day after Easter, and Schwab has stepped down from the Economic Forum, both simultaneous. So I want to read to you some excerpts from the Word of the Lord. You can go to arkofgrace.org, go to current blog, and you can look this up for yourself. But February 13th, 2025, smoke from the Vatican. A revival in Italy is rumbling, says the Lord. Rumblings in Greece, says the Lord. Leadership is about to change suddenly, says the Lord. April 3rd, 2025. The side of the church is about to be pierced and open, says the Lord, including the Vatican, says the Lord. And March 31st, 2025. I believe that during Passover, we are going to see some serious resignations and a serious announcement from the Vatican. So you would see serious resignations and a serious announcement from the Vatican simultaneously. And pretty much simultaneous, Pope Francis has died and Schwab has stepped down from the Economic Forum. So this is some very serious prophecy fulfilling right now, triggering, especially in the church, a very serious changing of the guard, including with leadership in Europe. I believe this is pointing at as well. So be in prayer. Very serious time. These two things have both happened during Passover. This is a very serious prophetic sign, an arrow pointing at what we're about to enter. We're about to
Just a day after I saw J.D. Vance, shaking hands with this man, he talked about immigrations and some other issues. Just to wake up, I realized people were accusing J.D. Vance of taking away the Pope's life. I saw that on some blogs. So you can understand exactly what is happening here. J.D. Vance went there with a good faith, and actually the last person, to talk with this man. And the Pope gave him, I don't know whether it was a rosary or what exactly was done. When you see people like Klaus Schwab resigning the same day, is putting a different mindset into people, reasons. You see them doing videos like this is a prophecy confirmation. I don't want to go deep into that.
Registration Act is...
Thank you guys who is with sharing out my videos. God bless you abundantly. Please share the video. If you see any clip after this, know that it is for the YouTube algorithm.
Generally called in self-defense.
There's no self-defense because if you are afraid the day before where you have to take a to school, why not notify your parents? Parents, you notify the school teachers. School teachers, let's bring these kids in here and resolve this issue. It's called conflict resolution.
Again, the evidence is still coming in.
This is definitely a self-defense case because it always is one until you look at the facts of the case and compare the two. You have to compare who was the initial aggressor. Was it an aggressive act for him to go up and say, get away from the tent? Did he do more than that? My understanding was maybe he touched him and put hands on him. Granted, that makes the decedent in this case maybe the initial aggressor. But you really still then have to look at whether or not Carmelo Anthony responded with appropriate force.
Is afraid to sleep in her own bedroom because she's fearful of what might happen to her.
She's even said all of those things.
Followers for anything. And then the
Registration Act is
talking about this man, Kilmore.
Because when I look at something like